in Ireland. But when he came to England, he found he too was a second-class citizen, an outsider.
I came to England first in 1954, looking for a bedsit, a room to sleep in, going to my academy. And outside the Earl's Court tube station, there was a little tobacconist and paper shop, and they had to have a board, a glass filled-in board with rooms for rent, and I saw one for 30 shillings a week. And it said, "No Irishman or black need apply." And I took my jersey and I put it down over my hand like that, and I put my hand right through the glass, and I took it out and I kept it for the rest of my life. That's how we were treated here in 1954. That would cause me demons. That would cause me anger.
It's about time you took that ton of rock off your shoulders. And don't wake me in the morning, I might be dead.
Hey, little devil.
This sporting life propelled him to Hollywood stardom at the age of 33. As a teenager, he'd had TB, a brush with death that made him determined to live life to the full. With stardom came the resources to do just that. He cavorted with a succession of leading ladies and would think nothing of flying to New York on Concorde for an afternoon of sex.
Richard Harris, along with most people who do qualify for being a real Hellraiser, managed to combine a certain menace about their personality with a charm. He always had a very glad eye for the ladies, and I think that women adored him, you know, and men wanted to be like him.
I was analysing myself that I would consider myself an excessive compulsive, which is that everything I do has to be excessive. Like, for instance, if I fall in love, it has to be excessive. I overpower the woman with devotion and love and sex, and I overpower them to such an extent I exhaust them. I exhaust them in the end. You know, same when I drink.
I'd been in a pub and in London, and I got thrown out of it. So I was so angry, I thought I'd get a drink probably on a train. So I got onto a train and got off where it stopped. That was Leeds. It was very late. I was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was wandering down the street. I saw a little light in the window, and I threw pebbles up the window. And this woman came and said, "What you want?" And I said, "Can I have a drink?" And she should have said, "This isn't Lourdes, you know. If you're looking for a cure, go somewhere else." But she recognized me and said, "Come on in." And I spent, I think, 4 days there. And I don't remember them at all.
I have to go the whole way, or it doesn't work for me. And I suppose that's what, I don't know where I got it, but that's my life. My life has been that. It's been compulsively excessive.
Richard Harris says he was lucky because in the 60s the film studios tolerated his hell-raising. They'd add extra shooting days to accommodate his hangovers and lost weekends, a state of affairs now stamped out by accountants and lawyers.
Someone asked me once, what's the difference between you, say, and Tom Cruise and people like that, when Tom Cruise is a major star and you were a major star? I said, there's a great difference. I said, see a photograph, go back on the old days, and you'll see me going to one of my premieres. I had a bottle of vodka in my hand. Tom Cruise got a bottle of avian water. That's the difference. Bottle of avian water.
The studios indulged his behaviour, but the people closest to him wouldn't. Elizabeth, his first wife and mother of his 3 children, left him. So did his second wife, Anne Turkel.
I'm totally guilty. I'm absolutely guilty of everything I'm accused of. I'm guilty of breaking up 2 marriages. I accept that. And if I had my life to live again, I'd do the same thing.
By the late 70s, even the studios would no longer put up with his wayward ways. Worse, his body rebelled. He developed high blood sugar levels and was advised to quit drinking.
I tried to stop drinking. I thought I stopped drinking. I tried cocaine. I tried heroin. I tried LSD. I did it all. It was all a part of that. I tried it and didn't like it very much. And it didn't last long, I must tell you. My period in drugs didn't last long. I found alcohol much more satisfying and far less dangerous.
Taking 5 to 8 grams of coke a day, he overdosed and ended up in hospital again, prompting him to go on the wagon for nearly 15 years.
Harris was very lucky to pull himself back at the last minute and flush a couple of $1,000s worth of cocaine down the toilet, and have a last bottle of Margaux and pull himself back from the brink. And that's a reflection of his intelligence and his strength as a man.
Richard Harris is 70 this year, still extremely wealthy and still acting. He's back on the beer, although no spirits, and with no regrets at all.
I wasn't going to die from an overdose of drugs. I prefer to die from a heart attack on some beautiful blonde, or from alcohol.